What's up, folks? Welcome to the Report. This is Lewis, and today's topic is I don't know what today's topic is because honestly, I looked around and it's kind of the topics are meh, and I haven't gone live in a while, so I want to go live and talk to you all. So today's main topic, main title is I'm Team Blake Lively. Prove me wrong in the comments or call in. There's a pinned link in the comments. You could call in and we could talk. And who knows, maybe you'll convince me, right? Thing about that topic, I made a video a couple days ago, shitload of views, a lot of views, and then I make another video, not too many views. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people don't like my take, but we got a lot of people in here. We got Wendy, we got Tammy, we got Jennifer. We got all the superstars. Shelly, Lisa, right? Damn, my contacts. One fell out, by the way. Dusty, Ann, Leonore. So, if you guys want to call in, if you are Team Baldoni, let me know. Call in. Let me know why you feel this way. And, I will prove you wrong. And whatever other topic you want to talk about as well. Thing is, I got to go live. And if there's no topics, I'm going to make some shit up, some fun stuff, right? I'm not going to make shit up, but I'm going to have fun with it. Lisa, thank you so much for being a member. 19 months. Wow, that's great. Thank you. Let me see what happened here. Can't see it. I can't even see this. I'm gonna have a bad time today. I have a bad time seeing your messages. Jennifer says I'm team no one. He's creepy and she's overly entitled. I said what I said. I kind of agree with you. I know a lot of guys like him. He gives me that vibe, but whatever. What's up, Latino Slant? Renee, how you doing? So yeah, he's calling at a weird time, man. Calling. What time did he call for that message? That 2 a.m. in the morning? That's a little weird. Who else thinks that's a little weird? Raise their hand. Right? But I guess since it's a production, it's 24/7. You could be on call anytime. There's no rule. This on both sides, I agree. Hit the like. So are you team? No. Wow, I'm actually getting people that are neutral here. I need opinionated people. Okay? Nah, just kidding. That is an opinion. You know nothing about it? Can't connect from them? You mean, Lenore, you can't connect to them, right? You don't feel like. That's what I think. Is that a bad word? A simp? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's like too much. It's too much. He throws. I don't really like either of these people, man. But I think if I put on my title, Team Lively, everyone, since they love him, they're gonna click on. We'll see. Gotta check your StreamYard background. What's up with the background? Is my background messed up? Is my StreamYard background messed up? He's a simp. She's a bully. I kind of like. Okay, so why is Nerd Report getting people who are neutral that see it that way, and other channels getting it that they're just team Justin Baldoni. Are people really that interested, Renee? I went to good. And keep the questions coming, folks, and the opinions. Are people really that interested in this topic? I think they know about it. I went to a place and I spoke to I was speaking to a person randomly, and I brought this up, a woman, and she was not really like someone you would expect to be following this stuff, and she was like, "Oh wait, we got someone. All right, on civil law, thank you." And she was like talking about this case too. She knew about the case. So hey, man, thanks for coming in, bro. Thanks for
no problem. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. So basically, I'm forming my opinion based on the filings that I've so far read. So I read the original complaint to the Civil Rights Commission. I read the complaint that was filed by Baldoni against the New York Times.
Yeah.
And I've read the original complaint by Baldoni against Lively. And today I started doing a breakdown of the amended complaint by Baldoni against Lively. So I'm basing my opinion based on the court filings because, at least ostensibly, they're supposed to be the most accurate representation versus what people are saying, in the press, because it's the primary source material. This is what people are saying.
Yeah.
So far, on balance, I find Baldoni's presentation of the evidence to be much more satisfactory. In Baldoni's amended complaint, in addition to the 230 pages of complaint itself, he attached 150 pages worth of exhibits that document the exchanges that were had. And so, as opposed to Lively's presentation, which was extremely more excerpted, I found that Baldoni's presentation of the evidence provided a more supportive picture of his argument. I also believe, based on the information that he presented, that Lively and the New York Times were involved in coordination / a conspiracy to develop this story, and that the human rights filing was filed in an attempt to preempt a defamation claim by presenting it as a pure issue of reporting on a story as opposed to a story that had been developed. So for me at the moment, I'm splitting this in favor of Baldoni. That's my view.
That is very good. And I want to, and I appreciate you watch my channel. I didn't know, but thank you. Welcome. And by the way, mods, Uncivil Law, share that link in there. Now, obviously, man, my title's a troll. Okay. I agree with you and stuff, because it's weird because I report on this, I'll get 50,000 views, and then in 1 second it's like 100. So I'm trying to check the YouTube algorithm and stuff. But anyways, she's deep underwater, man. It's especially with public opinion. Do you see a scenario here where her representation, her lawyers are telling her to shut up, and that she in fact has something up her sleeves that when the court comes in March, that we're all going to be shocked? Or is this just too deep for you, for her?
Well, I wouldn't say it's too deep, but I would say that in terms of the presentation, that Baldoni is much more laying his cards on the table than Lively.
Yes.
Lively had a few evidentiary pieces in her complaint. Now, to her credit, legally, she's not really required to present any evidence in a complaint. In the United States, we have what's called notice pleading. So you just have to put people on notice, and you can just assert things are true. They can't be made up. You have to have a basis, but you don't actually have to provide the evidence. So you can just simply say that I have a text message. That being the case, however, Baldoni has presented the primary material, or a significant amount of the primary material, on the open docket, which is a bit of an unusual choice for an attorney. They don't typically do that, and because you don't want to show your cards. Right, attorneys want to try to hold back as much as they can because they want to entice the other side to act first, perhaps precipitously, and then react to it. So you don't want to show what you have too early. So showing as much as you have is a very unusual and a very strong move. The last time I saw something like this happen was with respect to Dominion voting systems, for example, when Dominion filed suit against Fox News and Rudy Giuliani for saying that their voting systems were corrupt. Dominion put on the docket a lot of evidence. And I remember reading that complaint. I was like, oh, they've got it. And then, of course, they did get it to the tune of $800 million as they later settled it. So Baldoni putting as much as he is on the docket, it's like he's making he's showing all his cards.
Yeah,
and he's showing it. It seems to be a representative picture, whereas she seems to not be presenting that. So unless she's got something of equal weight, which seems a bit implausible, then it seems like Baldoni's got it. That would be my initial assessment.
Yeah, that is perfect. He's Freeman is showing too much, right? Like it seems like he's showing all his cards, right?
It's unusual for an attorney to make that choice.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm of course you're an attorney, right? Just to clarify,
I am.
Yeah. So you know what you're talking about, but okay, I box. Has nothing to do with being an attorney. But a lot of times, what we do is what Muhammad Ali would call the rope a dope. You get a real good fighter, you fight, and you have him just blow his wad. First few rounds, just lean on him, let him just throw all the combinations, tight. And then by the fourth round in a 12-round heavyweight fight, whatever championship fight, guy's starting to get tired because he's just done everything. So my thing is, I feel like there should be a scenario here where in the later rounds, she'd come back with a knockout or at least something, because he's really, really proactive. Baldoni's side is like beyond proactive, man. And you brought that up. You brought that up clearly, right?
Same thing with Garth Brooks, with respect to what was her name. I could try to remember her name, but with the hairstylist that accused him of sexual assault, and Garth Brooks filed a declaratory action, basically going on the offensive rather than waiting around. So you gotta respect that move.
So right now, folks, we're getting a raid from Popcorn Planet. My name is Lewis here with Nerd Report. The title here is Team Blake Lively and Proud Changed My Mind and Uncivil Law. I know he was watching. He was probably watching and go, man, this guy's boiling my blood. I'm going to go and prove him wrong. So he's the guest right here. He's an expert, okay? He's a lawyer and everything. And I'm going to confess something. My title, if you're just coming on in here, is a troll to get people in here.
It worked.
Let's see. It works. So Sheriff Civil Laws link in there, and he's brought some knowledge, and so the gag order, right? There's a gag order, right, as of Monday.
Sure.
If I think it works against her because he's the one that is owning the internet spheres, the social media. Like he's winning the war of popularity and the internet. It would be to her advantage to come out and say, hey, no, it's not like he's saying, it's like this. Would you agree? Or is she's by March?
Well, I really understand the point of the gag order fundamentally, because the gag order prevents them from saying things outside of court, but it doesn't prevent them from saying things inside of court. So it wouldn't preclude this filing. And it's like, if had it existed, because like, well, I'm just dumping things on the docket in the court proceedings. I'm presenting it to the court. And so I don't really understand the point of the court order. It's like, okay, you don't want me to discuss it publicly. It's like, okay, so I guess they'll take down their website that they have, because they had put these things on a website. I'm like, I'm going to publish everything. It's like, you want me to take down my website? I'm like, okay, but I know another really great website where I can get this information. It's called Pacer, public access to court electronic records. Well, so I was like, you can take down your website, but I know how to look up Pacer.
And also this case, I mean, that website's cloned. I'm sure somebody went in there and just copied everything that's in there. So that's, and there's the Wayback Machine. I believe that's one of the things. Now, as far as like, do you have any experience with like Hollywood, how Hollywood works as far as like, there's the distributor and then there's Wayfair, I believe is the company who bought the rights to the book and the movie rights to the book. They are not working they seems like they don't really work together. Sony's strictly distributor, Wayfair's production, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of opinions I do disagree with. Like, for example, when we saw the video of Blake and Justin and they're dancing and she's giving her creative input and people are reacting to that saying, my gosh, he's really trying to take over. It's nothing I haven't seen before. Actors do have rights to creative input sometimes, and the director shoots it down. Have you seen that?
Yeah, to some degree, but it seems like
Yeah,
it seems like in this case it was more to that. The thing that really got my attention as an IP
yeah.
lawyer, I was like, I read on when I was reading their amended complaint, they were referring to this email because they're saying, oh, it was Ryan Reynolds who was writing some of the script. And
Mm.
you saw an email from legal, from Sony, I believe it was Sony's legal. It's like, just want to check on this and confirm this. And by the way, do we have a release from that? Because it made the IP lawyer in me extremely nervous. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, it's like you have a contributor now to the work who has not signed any release. So that makes them a joint author. It doesn't matter how much you contribute
Mm.
in sort of copyright law. It's like without an agreement, the joint contributor, regardless of how much they contribute, is joint. And they now have a right to the entire work in an undivided whole, which means you just gave them undivided ownership of the work. And so now the movie is a derivative of the script, which he is now which he's now a owner of. And so it's like, oh, we just maybe made Ryan Reynolds unintentionally a co-owner of the movie, which hypothetically would mean as co-owner, he could legally distribute it himself without permission because he has an ownership interest in the undivided whole. That's what that would mean. And he would only owe Sony half of whatever profits he would be able to generate, even if it's not as much as Sony could generate. So yeah, that made the lawyer in me extremely nervous.
Well, wait a minute. She went off and she allegedly, without permission, showed the film to a book club convention or a book convention.
Yeah.
Do you think that's part of it?
She might have legally been able to do. That's my point. Like that, because Ryan Reynolds is arguably an owner now in the movie. And I mean, you can make the argument for it. Obviously, everything gets complicated, but it's like, yeah. she might be able to do that. And it's like it's because she's now she's like the whole thing is legally a mess.
Yeah,
so it's like this is why we have contracts and things that say, like, for example, this is a work for hire. And this is done as a work for hire, and you're contributing, and you have no ownership rights. This is why we have agreements to stop this from happening.
Yeah, and in the movie, I've done PR, I've done movie stuff before. I have the channel Nuke the Fridge, and I've studied some of the stuff how the films are released and everything like that. Everything you change takes a lot of paperwork, a lot of legal stuff. Like that's why when I saw the video of her saying, "Hey, I'm showing you the entire film and I took it from the studio," I'm like, that's really, really bad. That, in my opinion, if she didn't have the rights to do that, it's like stealing, and it's really like piracy. I mean, when they and civil law, when they show a film screening, the studio literally hires a security team to go inside the screening room first, check for cameras that will be recording it. And then they let the people in. They have those night vision goggles, making sure people are not pirating. And this is a $325 million film. This isn't bullshit. You know what I mean? It's not and after the film's over, they go and look for hidden cameras in case someone left it. So they pick it up later after hours to avoid piracy. You know,
yeah.
So with the book deals, with everything going on with this film, it's a $500 million thing. So,
yeah, when there's money floating around, especially this kind of money, people can get real stupid real fast.
Yeah,
and so that's why legal sending it. It's why legal sending an email. It's like, hey, we have a potential problem here that you've created an exposure because we have no agreement. Apparently, she was even working for a while without an agreement. I assume she eventually signed one. But the fact that she was apparently working without a signed contract, the legal in me is already going insane.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean she's working without a signed contract?
Is all this going to be coming out during the trial?
Oh, I don't know about that. But I mean, the issue here is defamation. And the issue here is, the harassment angle. So Obviously, for defamation, she would know whether or not it's true. So
Now,
New York Times is in a more interesting position, but if they co-conspired to create it, then that makes a problem.
now I don't think there was how would I say, a artificially induced conspiracy to defame her, as far as like having people post videos of her acting like an asshole or whatever. I do feel those videos were out and they went viral organically. I do feel that. I mean, people don't like Hollywood stars to begin with. And I don't know. She put that out. The lady, you know, what's her name? Frey or whatever. The one that hit like 7. You saw that video, right? With the lady bump. So I feel that was organic. I also feel like, with all due respect, she's probably watching. I do feel like she was picking on Blake Lively because Parker Posey was also being extremely rude and that she wasn't in the title. And I also think if you are team Baldoni and he does have a lot of fans, you'd boost that video to prove your point, right? Do you feel there was a campaign from what you know about the internet to like lower her credibility at all? Or do you think that's ridiculous?
I don't think it's ridiculous, but you know, I'll sort of base my opinion on the legal filings because, again, I feel like that's the most likely. You know, because my going assumption in complaints is that everything said is true if incomplete. So, like everything that Lively said in her complaints, like as to the facts, are true. It's just very incomplete, as opposed to Baldoni, who's presenting a more complete set of facts. So, you know, that's the most primary material, the best material, because it's being said in court, and there are potential legal repercussions for that, both to the attorneys and potentially the case, of course, because if you show yourself to just be an out liar, then that could be a real problem for you down the line. So, you know, I try to just base my opinion on the legal filings, and it's like, well, based on, again, the complaint and the defamation against the New York Times and the original complaint from Baldoni, as well as the amended complaint, it's like, yeah, Baldoni for the moment has it. It's like he's got, you know, it's a 70% case for him. And so we'll see how it develops. So unless she can get something, you know, really good in retort, you know, then that's not going to get better for her.
She needs something real good, because that video of him smelling her neck is not going to do it. It doesn't even look like he made contact with her at all. You know what I mean? You know that video she put out of them dancing in the bar? I was like, that's your smoking gun? And I got to be honest with you, in the beginning, when I heard her complaint and the 30 things she laid out before the production continues, I was like, why did they agree to that if it's not true? Like, if I go up to you and I say, hey man, stop, you could come on my show, but stop harassing me, you tell me to F off, because you're not, right?
Expediency. I think they made a mistake by going when they did, because they knew, apparently Baldoni's complaints, like they had awareness that there was an issue with this actress.
Yeah.
Like in the run up to production, I think they probably should have bit the bullet and hired somebody else. And then once things are underway, you know, that's a huge expense to just like scrap things. Like, it's been done before, but no one likes to do it. No one likes to reshoot major parts of a movie or redo a movie. That's not fun and fun times.
No, that's not fun time. They recast her. That would have been ridiculous. And it was after the writer's strike.
It's been done. Back to the Future, for example. But you know,
yeah.
No one wants to go out of their way. No one wants to go out of their way to do it.
But you're talking about a Spielberg production versus like a $25 million movie. Even Spielberg, when he did Back to the Future, he was a big deal. It was him and Zemeckis, right? They did it. Folks, if you guys are wondering, there's actually another version of Back to the Future with what's the actor?
Ryan Stiles, or
Stolz. Go in there, Google it. It's pretty. It's
yeah.
dope.
They shot like almost all of part 1 with a different actor as Marty.
Yeah, but he didn't have chemistry or whatever. They didn't like the way
they wound up redoing. They wound up redoing almost the entire movie. It's a fairly famous story.
Yeah, and also another part to that. Back to the Future fans, how many of you are there? Hopefully a lot. The second film did not feature the guy that played his dad, and
they used prosthetics, and then he sued and became a whole thing. Yeah,
because they used his likeness, right? They used it was actually a mold from him. So that's and I've seen a lot of people claim this film is not successful. Folks, this film is like massively successful. It was a 20, from what I understand, cost $25 million to produce. I don't know if that includes the advertisement, but it's at 325 million. That's like Marvel movie level. You know what I'm saying? That is a big success. So I know people are talking about the marketing that was off because she was marketing it as a chick flick, and he wanted to be more serious. And honestly, Civil Law, as I know you're more by the book and the filings, but just opinion, Sony was right in marketing it as a chick flick, money wise, because a lot of people don't want to go to the movies and get depressed over SA, and stuff. A lot of people experience that in their own lives. So they get the butts in the seat, and then the story evolves from a chick flick to a tragedy. And I think it worked.
I'm not okay with that either. I don't think it's ever okay to mislead the consumer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm saying, I'll tell you this. Hollywood doesn't care.
I care. I care.
I know you do. But you're not Hollywood.
It's fraud. If you induce me to buy your ticket based on a material misrepresentation, that's fraud.
Really? Even if the okay, there were a few things in the trailer. Did you watch the movie?
No, I haven't.
Would you watch it or no?
Doesn't seem like my kind of thing either way.
I watched it. It's not mine. I think you should watch it. There is the trailer does allude to SA. But when I was watching the movie, I'm like, where's that part? Like, it was really taken out. And there's two cuts, right? Her cut.
Yeah, well, we could have a broader argument about trailers and their fidelity to the movie, because not infrequently trailers have no particular fidelity to the movie.
Oh yeah, because they want to get the butts in seat. Okay, so name what trailer. Now that we're on that topic, what trailer deceived you?
I can't think of anything that comes to mind, but many trailers have scenes in them that don't appear in the movie, or they're just not
Avengers
accurate to the movie.
Endgame, where the Hulk is fighting Thanos, and then he's not even in the movie. There was one film that came to mind where the entire trailer had an actress in there, and then they weren't in the movie.
On a different subject, have you seen the videos from Chat Music that recently came out where they did turning the comment section of Disney Snow White into song?
No, is that the new one? Are they talking about the new one that's coming out?
Yeah, they did two music videos. Basically, they converted the audio they converted the comments relating to the new Snow White into a thing. I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I will give you the link in the private chat if you want to pull it up.
Yeah. Well, I can't pull it up when I get in trouble because I've been getting strikes for.
I don't think so. I mean, a lot of people are reacting to it, so I have no particular reason to believe you get into trouble for it.
Well, they don't like me. I've gotten copy. Remember Trump's the bang bang that happened to him last summer?
I got a copyright takedown for doing the inaugural. I got my account suspended on TikTok.
Okay, listen.
I was like, dude, it's being broadcast by the inaugural committee, which makes it a work of the U.S. government, which means it's not copyright under 15 U.S.C. 105. Suck me.
Okay. Okay, listen, I got taken down too. And I saw if you follow me on Nerd Lecca on Twitter, I think it's still up there. I shared YouTube apologized to someone for taking it down. They said a third party was claiming the ownership of the inauguration.
Yeah.
And this guy actually got a strike. Did you get a strike?
I got a community guidelines warning. And then I had to protest it and I got removed. It's like the third time I've gotten a community guidelines warning for copyright. I remember I got one on New Year's Day for doing for streaming and talking about Steamboat Willie. This is New Year's Day, I think last year now, because of course New Year's Day it was no longer under copyright. I was getting a copyright warning. I'm like, but there is no copyright. It's all copyright free. That's the point of the stream.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people getting demonetized by a random email telling them that your stuff's not original.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that? It's like your stuff's not original enough. You're gonna be demonetized, reapply in 3 months. I don't get the logic of that.
Yeah, so it's not the first time I've had to protest to YouTube and be like, you gotta take this community guidelines warning down, because they killed my stream. They deleted my stream and then they
did it to
undeleted
me
it.
too.
And it's like, so it makes me not want to talk about it, man. I was like, I want to watch Steamboat Willie. I want to talk about copyright, damn it. You can't stop me. No one owns it.
So chat, do you think uncivil law changed my mind about Blake Lively since I was so in love with her?
I seem to be doing a pretty decent job so far.
Look, I honestly don't like her or him. I mean, whatever. I think, like, on the personal note, I hate the way he's always like doing these conventions and like trying to make himself look good. Like, I hate men, men are bad. It's like, bro, speak for yourself, okay? Like, if you're bad to women, you go up there and confess, that's on you. You don't have to be putting down someone to elevate yourself. And I feel like he's always worried about like what he looks like to others. And it's like, it's really annoying. Some people think he's creepy. I don't know, but that's not legal. And uncivil law doesn't give a fuck about that. Right.
Try to stick to the law, follow the law, follow the facts. Right.
Yeah. All I have is life experience, man. I don't have the law on me. I didn't go to law school. God dang it. Maybe I should try.
Law's fun. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'm having lots of fun in the new administration trying to figure out whether or not things are legal. It's making my life very interesting.
Is that what you're covering right now? A lot of the stuff with Trump and everything?
Yeah, I basically every day he gives me stuff to talk about where it's like, is this legal? Like the one I heard today that was interesting was apparently Ecuador, I think, was suggesting that we could send U.S. nationals to their prison. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that that's legal because it raises not only Eighth Amendment problems, but you would therefore be deporting U.S. nationals. And I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. So I don't think that's legal. So
did you have a chance to watch the LA protests of ICE last night?
Not in particular.
So
I have no problem with protests. Protest all you like. That's what the First Amendment's for.
100%. I agree with you. And this has nothing to do with what your opinion is on the issue. And I'm talking to Chad as well. They literally arrested a lot of people for protesting. I'm pro protesting. If it's on the sidewalk, just don't hurt anyone. But they literally, I can send you this video. I'll tag you with it. The cops, I think they call it, when they get people together before they arrest them. Anyways, like they cattled them.
Okay.
All right. That's what that's the word actually. And before they do that, I guess they're supposed to warn you that the arrests are coming. Please disperse. This is an unlawful assembly. First of all, they didn't do that because I'm watching my friend's live stream as he's doing it. Film the Police, William Good. And they didn't do that. And the only thing is they got on the mic and they're like, you all have to leave. You all have to leave. And as they're saying, you have to leave, they closed everyone in. They didn't
that doesn't seem fair.
No, they closed everyone in. And then he was like on his phone recording or live saying, where do we go though? There's no way to go. Point. There's no. So they got everyone in and they pushed everyone under a bridge. And then what they did is they kept them there for like 3 hours. It was crazy. And the cops were on both sides. You couldn't leave, which is like, it seemed like an unlawful arrest. And all they did was search the people, handcuff them, search them, and then let them go. I was like, yeah, dude, if you're trying to stop protests, you're kind of people are going to get pissed off watching this shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. I think it's important to not only watch the mainstream media because they were presenting the entire situation differently. It's cool to see that there are YouTubers that actually could get their phone and film everything.
Film is helpful because it can help tell the story, right? That's one of the reasons that body cams and dash cams are often helpful. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're deceptive, but many times they're helpful to understanding the story.
Yeah. So, but are you? Well, I don't know if you have an opinion. Are you liking what Trump's doing so far or not?
On the whole, yes, I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Republican.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you could be a Republican and disagree. You know, some of the people in his administration don't like him either. You know, I do support him. You know, I've come up here and said that caused a lot of enemies, a lot of people disappearing off my chat, a lot of trolling. But at the same time, the people who agree with me, they're very loyal and very fun and very welcoming. And, you know, it is what it is. So any last thoughts, man, before...
No, not particularly. I mean, I think in these situations, in any situation, it's always important to try to get the best material you can. So I would encourage people to try to, if they can, read the lawsuits for themselves, or you can always join me on my channel because I show you the documents as I'm reading and explaining it, so you can see exactly what the primary material is. It's the best way to understand the story and try to understand what's going on and try to understand which side makes the most sense. The news media is haphazard at best. So, you know, try to consult the primary material when you can. It's going to be the best thing to do. So that's what I have to say about that.
So I want everyone to share his channel on civil law mods. And I would love for you to come back if that's something you want to do. I got a pretty good following here. I think you could get a few more followers off me, which is great. And then you could...
I will happily take more subs.
All right. And, you know, I think, man, you changed my mind. First caller? I don't know. This is not fair. I'm going to have to pretend I'm Team Blake Lively as soon as you leave again. See if I can get anyone to call.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much overlap we have between our two channels, but I'll happily take some of your subs over my way. That's fine by me.
No, we're going to have... no, my audience likes... They're going to like your stuff. They're going to like your stuff. No, I have a variety of my audience is a variety, man. Like it's not really a set demographic.
We do a lot. We do trials. We do court of appeal cases. We're going to be doing the Karen Reed case again, part 2, because it ended in a mistrial the first time. So we're going to be doing that again. That starts on April 1st. We do U.S. Supreme Court. Some pretty interesting decisions still to be had this term coming out of there. Not as many as most terms. This has been a more quiet Supreme Court, but there's still some interesting stuff coming down. And we do some court of appeal cases. We do Trump stuff. We do anything in the news that looks legally interesting. So
well, let me ask you real quick before you go. Idaho case.
Oh yeah, Kohlberger.
Thoughts?
Brian Kohlberger.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, is that going to be televised?
I believe so. Yes.
Wow.
The evidence that's against him so far is weaker than I would like. The one thing that really sort of caught my attention is apparently there is no DNA inside his car from the victims, which seems like very implausible because, I mean, if he did it, because the time frame was so tight, according to them, right? These were 4 knife murders, and knife murders probably involve quite a lot of blood because you're up close and personal. You know, it's going to get a lot of DNA. It's like, it's difficult to imagine that he didn't transfer any of that into his car. And I'm like, some people say he cleaned it. I'm like, yeah, but it's pretty hard to forensically clean a car. I mean, that's challenging. And they didn't find like any DNA from the victims in his car. It's like, that strikes me as suspect.
I did stop watching after a while because I got to be honest with you. I'll be honest. And I always gain enemies like this, but the true crime people on YouTube sometimes, geez,
they can be a lot.
Yeah, it's like, bro, come on. So I stopped at a certain point. It's like, look, the trial's coming up. We have a hiatus. You don't have to be making up shit every day. There's not a way to make a video about Brian Kohlberger for 365 days after they set the date. There's not that much news on it, but they went on. Anyways, the trash that he took out of was his dad's home. And is that still in there? Did they say there may be DNA in there? Or is that still something we have to wait for?
I don't know the particulars of that one.
And then this entire case is fascinating. The guy getting stopped by the cops like 5 times. It's the bushy eyebrows. It really feels like a Halloween movie, really, to go in there and whoever did.
I mean, perhaps he did it. It's just the evidence, and then also the GPS data they had on his phone was a lot spottier than I would have liked. So I mean, the evidence is suggestive. It's definitely he's a suspect, but I'm a long way from beyond a reasonable doubt. So I don't know what else it would be nice if they had any fingerprints of him or his DNA inside the house. That would be really nice. If they can tie him to the specific murder weapon, but they haven't found the murder weapon, which makes things challenging. They do have his DNA on the clasp of the knife sheath, but it's touch DNA, which is kind of not the greatest quality inherently. So it's like, that's a little bit and so it's a little bit, and I mean, to point out the obvious, it is a quadruple homicide with the death penalty on the table. So, my evidentiary burden for wanting to convict him, I think, is justifiably a little bit higher. High. I like it to be a, fairly solid case before, I'm ready to execute the guy. So it's a little bit thinner than I'd like at this stage.
Yeah. And we want, obviously we want the right person to get caught and convicted. We don't, it is what it is. I've seen people get falsely accused, especially in the true crime community. So, and people still go with it, even though there's evidence contradicting it. People still think what they think and feel what they feel. But Uncivil Law, man, I think you got a few subs here, and I'll reach out to you on X. You're on there?
I'm Uncivil Law at Uncivil Law everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. At Uncivil Law everywhere. So feel free to follow me in all those places.
You got it, man. Thanks for coming in.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later. Well, that was cool. But it was my Blake Lively simping was very short-lived and stuff. And look, if you're part of this channel, you know that in the beginning I was like, I gotta look into this stuff a little closer before I make up my mind. Let me get closer to the screen here because my contact fell. My left contact fell. So if you guys send in super chats, I can't see it. And Karen Show says this case is really fascinating. I am Team Justin. She is simply horrible. I can't wait to see some justice in this case. This is Karen's opinion. Very well said, Karen. And then Carbonized Stardust, what is up? Whoever doesn't smash the like is probably going to be haunted by an alien that starts with the letter X. I don't make the rules. All right, there you go. Hit the like. What's up with you guys? Have you guys hit the like? I am so blind today. I'm so blind. That was a good interview, right? Does anyone else want to call in? I'm dropping the link in the comments. Anyone else want to call in? Once again, I want to thank all the Popcorn Planet Raiders. All the Popcorn Planet Raiders, thanks for coming on in here. I dropped the link right there, or it is actually stuck. Did anyone else send any? If you guys want to send some support, you could do so with a super chat, super sticker, membership. You can become a member, gift members, PayPal. There's a lot of ways. The main way you could help, though, is by hitting the subscribe button. It's on the top right hand. Subscribe. Subscribe, y'all. Do me the favor. Subscribe right now. Are we at 72,000 subs? Are we at 72,000 subs yet? Let me know in the comments. Jennifer Marie says, it's my daughter's birthday. So I've been listening and enjoying the discussion while making her dinner. Happy birthday to your daughter, Jennifer Marie. And thank you so much for that very generous gifting of memberships from Anne. Anne gifting the memberships right now, hooking the channel up, keeping the life flow going of Nerd Report. That's the way we like it. Hello, Ann. There you go. I got the comments up, folks. Did anybody actually believe my title? Did anyone fall for the title? Or did you? D-Nice, how you doing? Andy did? Did he really fall for the title? Did Andy fall for the title? He sent us over to yell at you. I gotta be creative, man, with the titles, right? Andy Popcorn Planet fell for the title. Oh wait, he was on his channel ranting about it. Folks, we're literally 70 away from 72,000 subscribers. It worked. It's true. I'm here. Like, what the F is this guy gonna do today? Who's new to the channel? Who's new to the channel? Press that one. Charity, thank you. $129 likes. I don't expect too many likes from this video because of the title. I think actually, dude, first of all, I think Uncivil Law did an amazing job, right? Props to him. And I think he thought he was gonna school me, like, F this guy. Who thought? I think he came in here thinking I was gonna push back, right? Yeah, welcome all the new people. Can you have a shout out, Brenda? Brenda with the shout out. Brenda with the shout out. Do you guys think he thought I was? Okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to go out and about and ask people on the road what they think of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. I just, to see if people are mixed about it. Because we're following the case, but are other people following the case? Oh shit, we got another guest right here. Cultural call out, Brandon.
What up?
Torres.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm here.
All right,
on behalf.
Hey, I'm team Lively, dude. You gotta change my mind.
She did score some points with me though today because they were going over it in Popcorn Planet how Justin Baldoni went up there to her and showed his wife's childbirth pictures to her while she was eating lunch, unwarranted. I mean,
wait, hold on, unsolicited, right?
So, yeah, unsolicited.
Okay, so he went allegedly and showed the breastfeeding.
No, childbirth.
Oh, the childbirth of Baldoni's kids?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that real, guys? For real?
Yeah, that's in the report. So, I mean, wouldn't that be weird to you if you're eating lunch and somebody's like, your coworker's like, look, here's my wife delivering birth. And you'd be like, ugh, I don't want to see
I don't want to look at that even if I'm not eating lunch.
Yeah, just like, no. I mean, I love you and your kids are cool, but no, I don't want to see that, man. So, yeah,
no, I don't want.
That's one part that kind of got a little bit of Blake's side on me, but
some people are saying that didn't happen though. Did it happen or did it not happen?
Who?
It was the other guy. It was the other
Jamie
guy.
Heath.
I don't know who that is.
Justin has nothing. Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm just getting over.
That's why I was. Yeah, that's why
I'm getting over having pneumonia. So,
so you're okay. So you're getting over having pneumonia. So you said Justin Baldoni showed the birth.
Oh no, I'm just joking though. I'm playing. That's what I heard, that they were showing who else would have childbirth pictures of his wife.
Oh look! Oh look! Check this out! Check this out! Check this out!
It was after. Yes, not during.
Hold on. This person says, okay, I guess this is not worth watching when you don't have the facts. Dude, I don't. Okay, listen, J Sauce, I'm gonna kick you out because I don't know. I'm moody. I'm gonna kick you out, J Sauce. Everybody, clown emoji, J Sauce. Okay, listen, J Sauce. I don't eat, sleep, or drink this particular case. Okay, I don't do that. As you could see, this is a small channel. I cannot make a living. If I made a living off this, where I had a good Patreon or whatever, I would just do this, but I need another job. So I can't be 24 hours on this. And I've stated hundreds of times here that I don't know everything about everything. Okay? Truth be told, it was Brandon who said it. Okay? I don't care. He doesn't know either. And check it out. If J Sauce or whatever your name is, if you know everything about this case and you're not working it, if you're not like a podcaster, commentator, or a lawyer in there, and if you know every minute thing and you're not making a living out of it, in my opinion, get a life. Get a life, bro.
And J Sauce.
I've stated 100 times here that I come on here and you all educate me. 10% knowledge me, which is setting this up, 90% knowledge you. That's why I never come in here and say this is a fact. It's all allegedly, it's all opinion, it's all evolving, right?
And J Sauce, lay off the sauce. But okay, so if that's Justin Baldoni's wife, how'd the other guy have pictures of it and shove it in Blake's face then?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that situation, so I can't.
Yeah. Oh, somebody else wants to call in. So
yeah, you can call in. By the way, and with the super chat, call in link right there. Why did Coffee call the police? It got mugged. There you go. All right, what's up, Bernadette? What's up, everybody? I dropped the link again.
So at first, though, is your perspective changing on this? Like, who's at fault or who's it not? Or is it
just listen, at first I thought Blake Lively was it was 50-50, maybe, and then there's no way you could be totally Blake Lively at this point unless you're her husband.
Yeah, you know? I mean, it looks like they're doing a power play on Justin Baldoni.
It does look like it. I mean, I hope not. I hope people aren't like that. You know, I hope people aren't that evil, but okay. I mean, so Sarah says it was Heath who tried to show Lively the video images of his own child's birth. Grab a coffee. Love you. Thank you. There's some facts. There you go. Okay, thanks for correcting us.
There's so many moving pieces here that it's just it's changing every day. And it's like, who did what and who now?
Yeah, but while she was eating, whoa, shit! I almost fell again. I dropped the link to call in, and they're not calling in.
But yeah, they're saying, fine. Heath is just as creepy as Baldoni. Then,
okay.
Jennifer Marie saying that.
Again, I hate to say it. A lot of people, including me, when I see a person that's too nice, I always think, wow, that's weird. But that's the life.
You're skeptical about it or what?
Yeah. Alice, thanks for calling.
Hi.
Hi. What do you got?
Okay. How long of the delay am I on?
Yeah, just let me know what's on your mind.
A minute or so. Now, I just wanted to say Brandon has a point with the birthing video. It was the co-producer's wife. Justin said to him to it's in the lawsuit. Said that he wanted Lively to watch the video, but it's unclear if Baldoni wanted him to show her right there or at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's unclear, right?
Yeah, it's probably going to come out in the Discovery though too. I mean, there's already a lot out there now though, but yeah, a lot of unclarity.
Any other thoughts, Alice?
Yeah. So now, I just wanted to before everyone got up Brandon's case.
Okay.
Case to just say what was in the lawsuit.
Okay.
I'm in Denmark, so it's 2 a.m. So I think I'm going to sleep.
Have a good night. Thanks for calling.
Good night.
Well, that was a great call. Why? And then I want everybody to point at themselves and go, "Why aren't you calling? You guys got to call in." I mean, I remember back in. Here's another way. This is not like the case with Johnny Depp. Back in the day, I don't know if I knew you, Brandon. Did I know you with the Johnny Depp trial?
A little bit. That's when I had the long hair, and y'all started calling me that stuff.
When we used to open the lines up, we used to get like 10 people calling in.
Oh yeah,
people were more passionate about it.
Well, this hasn't gone to court yet, and the bad thing about this is it's not going to be televised.
Yeah, it's not going to be televised. The Kohlberger case is going to be televised. That's going to be nuts.
But like with this though, at first I thought it was Baldoni just being like an ultra simp.
He is kind of.
But then there's more stuff coming out, and it's just like they're doing their power play.
He's probably right, man. I don't know. From the evidence, like, and I know on civil law and lawyers go by the book. He doesn't want to put his opinion in there. You know, He wants to go by the book.
Yeah,
and that's the way to do it.
And we're going, well, some of us, speaking for myself, the court of public opinion, you know, so, and you, like you said, on civil laws by the book, and you're studying.
He's a law dude, right? I'm dropping a link to call. I don't know why no one's calling. Are you guys scared of me?
You don't bite too hard.
Like that hard.
Like, did you see that comment though from Blake Lively to him? Where she's like, I could do some ball busting, and I swear I don't use teeth and stuff like.
Did she say that?
She said that. She texted that to him, and then he's like, she put XXX like kiss kiss kiss, and then he's like, well, all right, I just said goodbye to my family and my kids for the next 5 months, so I'm kind of it's a shit show, he said.
Okay, let me say something here. Okay, I need everyone's attention, like everyone. Brandon, everyone watching here. All right. I was at a doctor's appointment. All right. I need everyone's opinion here. Okay. And I was speaking to a nurse, and she goes, "What do you do for a living?" I go, "Well, I have a podcast." And she goes, "What do you guys talk about?" And that's a question that I still don't know what we talk about. But anyways, I said, and I see you guys in the back room. I'll call you. I'll pick you in a while. I said, well, right now, the case with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, she got up right away. She knew about it. So people know about this thing, right? This is not a person that is watching YouTube all the time. And what's interesting, and this is may upset, I don't know, I'm going to ask the ladies and the guys here. She goes, I think women nowadays are too sensitive with compliments. And she probably took it the wrong way. This is what this lady was telling me. I didn't agree or disagree. Do you think that's something that's happening? Folks, let me know in the comments. Chiarusco? What is it?
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Welcome to the show. What is your opinion?
Well, I have been following Justin Baldoni's career for a couple years. Yeah. I saw him like on Jane the Virgin, and I became a real big fan of his. He was constantly doing charity stuff while on set, getting all the other actors involved. Anybody who I feel like has been kind of following Justin Baldoni's career for any amount of time, I feel like this lawsuit kind of came out of left field completely. He's something that I feel like, and maybe not to say anything bad to about you, but I feel like something that maybe a lot of people don't understand is that they are like Justin and Jamie Heath are part of the Baha'i faith, and the Baha'i faith is like it's hippy dippy, woo woo, as Andy would say. So it's like the way they approach stuff is very. I mean, it's very much like you roll over. You kind of roll over and show your belly. You don't fight back. So it's a very different kind of dynamic there. When you have somebody, these powerhouses like Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift, when you have something like that, I mean, Justin Baldoni is for sure the little dog there, the little guy who's against this trifecta of like insanity. So, I'm really glad for him that he has such a good attorney who is dedicated to helping. And even if he, didn't maybe necessarily go about it in the most scrupulous way by putting all this in these legal court complaints so that they can be made public opinion. At this point, even the judge, I don't know if you've covered or if you've seen anything with the gag order litigation from yesterday.
Yeah.
He, even the judge was like, hey man, I get it. Public opinion at that point, the damage is done before the jury speaks. So if this court case does go to court and a jury speaks on it, the damage is done. So all they can really do at this point is fight public opinion.
Well, henceforth, why he moved the court, he said, I'm going to move the court date up if you keep this up, right? So it's like, yeah. So you won't take the juror pool.
Right. Well, so with that, I mean, from what I can see from any of the commentary and any of the legal proceedings that I've watched to fall back on, I don't think either side would want it to be moved up at this point, as weird as that kind of sounds, because that would just I feel like that would not give time for proper litigation readiness, if that makes sense.
Well, so I was going to ask you a question. I apologize for interrupting you. As a fan who followed Baldoni longer since Jane the Virgin and everything, and stuff like that. When you first heard these allegations, was there ever a point of view where you thought, "Oh crap, it was all a fraud"? His persona? No, not at all.
Maybe a little bit at first, but just because, I mean, it was the same kind of thing. Like when they smeared Johnny Depp's name. I was in high school at that time when that came out, and it was like, oh shit, really?
Look, I wasn't upset at what you said earlier, but now calling me old.
Yeah, I feel
you were in high school. Girl, come on.
I'll be 36 this year, so I'm.
You're a baby.
I don't feel like it, but yeah, I was in my last couple years of high school, and at that time that was a different landscape back then too, and I was younger, but it was kind of like you have this image of somebody, and that can be tainted, and sometimes rightfully so if they've been guilty of what they're being accused of. But it was kind of like when, Depp v. Heard happened, it was kind of like a big, what the hell? So my gut instinct was right about this, the whole time. And it was all just a complete media, circus that flipped everybody's opinion.
Mhm.
And with what's been coming out, and not just recently, but just for years, about Blake Lively, like, my ex, my kid's dad, used to be like, oh, Blake Lively's so hot. And I'd be like, how? Why?
Well,
Like, I never saw the appeal myself. I don't watch
hold on. She's good looking, but not like, oh my God.
No, she's fine. She's not ugly. She's not ugly. I'm just like, I never saw the appeal. Like, I'm somebody who like, oh, Olivia Wilde, like, back at that time, like, that's who I would be like, oh, she's really pretty.
Olivia Wilde's
Monica
better.
Baccarom or whatever. The
To me, Blake Lively is basic. Olivia Wilde's a little more prettier looking.
Like, yeah, and I'm somebody who, I've done studies, like, so I've been involved in like court studies. I've been involved in psychology, and I actually wanted to be an actor. I don't have the face for acting, but I wanted to be in acting. Like, I did drama for like so many years, and I love it. Absolutely loved it. So it's like, I'm coming at this from somebody who I guess has almost a little bit more of the mindset, and I could see the entitlement and the just the mindset that she was coming from. And it was kind of like, no, I was like, okay, I don't want to believe this. I will give it, consideration, but I'm not going to believe I'm not going to blindly believe this court filing, especially as soon as it came out that it was done underhandedly. And now they're just trying to say that, oh, maybe Justin did it himself. Maybe Justin leaked it to the New York Times. And it's like, really?
Yeah, well, they've got to come out with proof. Listen, he is doing, in my opinion, what an innocent man would be doing. And I always say this: if you get accused of something, if I get accused of something, I would go to the highest mountain and scream on the top of my lung, "It wasn't me, F you," to everybody.
Exactly.
And he is doing that. The only thing I don't like about him that has nothing to do with his case is him always throwing men under the bus. I think, and there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Sorry, masculinity. Hold on a second. Masculinity and toxic have nothing to do with each other. He's got to understand that there are assholes out there, both sexes. There's assholes that are men and there's assholes that are women.
Agreed.
So masculinity are positive things, both of them. You can't corrupt it, in my opinion. And it's like almost like he's doing these seminars like, I have to repent for being a man. Dude, speak for yourself, man. Listen, and when you start saying that, I'm like, what did you do that you're always out there apologizing? It has nothing to do with me. Don't get me lumped in there. So my initial thought with him was, that's kind of weird, right? But then also with the 30 rules she put in place to continue the production, I was under the impression he agreed to stop it, which implies guilt, but apparently he didn't.
Well, that's how we wanted. That's how Blake Lively's team wanted it, and it was 17 when they were actually presented. The 30-point document only was released when the New York Times article dropped.
And he has to defend himself. He has to defend himself because honestly, if he doesn't, it's going to be out there because there were actors. It doesn't matter what I say on this channel. I'm a small fry. I could say, oh, no, I believe Blake Lively, whatever. It doesn't matter. There were big actors going out there and the crew with the perception that they were agreeing with Blake. So he has to go out there and go, no. It's this way. He's presenting his side of the story. Right. So I don't blame him for going out there and saying his side of the story. But now his side of the story is so good that Blake Lively is painted on the, she's against the wall now, right?
and that's part of why I believe that they tried to desperately put out the gag order. I was watching Emily D. Baker's stream. I don't know if she did it yesterday or if it was even a stream. I think it might have just been a video. But she said something, and I don't know if you watch her or anything.
I know of her. She's good.
She can be super funny, and something she said really stuck with me, because in addition to them trying to file this, quote unquote gag order, they had filed something where they didn't want Brian Friedman to depose Blake Lively. And my thought mirrored what Emily said, just she said it better, but she said, do you really want to tell opposing counsel that you don't like their lawyer? Because if you're opposing counsel, what are you doing? Ooh, we've gotten under their skin. It's gleeful.
She didn't want to talk to the lawyer. It's like, dude, you don't get to choose who the lawyer is.
You don't get to choose. And I don't understand why her lawyers allowed her to sit, like why they put that out. Was that like Brian Reynolds or Blake Lively said, do it or you're fired? You really shouldn't have done that. You really shouldn't have.
Do you ever watch something and you're just at like disbelief it's happening? Like, have you ever seen something like, come on, I can't. Okay.
Oh yeah.
This entire thing is starting to look like that. It's like, I just feel like there's something under their sleeve, Blake Lively's and Ryan Reynolds, that they haven't showed yet. Because it's just too much.
As far as like
too competent.
Oh,
you get. It's like too blatant.
Yeah.
Like once it's like, where's your lady? Where's your proof of the harassment? Like, where is it? Like, where's the smoking gun?
If you want me to be honest about this, what I think is that she, because I can't corroborate this as far as truth. This is just from what I've heard from other streams, that apparently there was proof of her telling Sony back in like May, I think of 23, maybe 24, saying that if you don't allow my cut to go through, I will, I will go to the New York Times and tell, say that Justin Baldoni.
Allegedly, is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't corroborate that.
Okay, if you guys want to really, as a fan, as a fan of Baldoni's, you say you are. I think the biggest movement you all could do is a release the Baldoni cut movement.
Right. That's what we've all been saying. At this point, regardless if you're, pro Baldoni or not, his movie tested better.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put that is release the release
the Baldoni cut.
Okay, I'm gonna start something here. The name I think I made. One second. I am adding it to the title of this.
Oh.
So now, what does it look like? Now the internet has a footprint that I was the first one to hashtag release the. Oh, it says TikTok release the Baldoni cut. Let me see this. The hashtag is out there, right? Is there a hashtag? No, there's not.
I'll be honest. I'm not super huge on a lot of socials aside from YouTube. I am a survivor of DV. So I actually was thinking about like starting like a separate TikTok and like telling my story about it and everything and why I stand with Justin Baldoni and not with Blake Lively. So that's the only kind of, I guess, social media that I really have is like, I have Facebook for my family. I don't even like it, but I'm mostly on YouTube. So I don't know about any of the hashtags. But I do know that justice for Justin, I'm assuming is trending. And I do know people have been asking about like the Baldoni cut. So
they need to release a Baldoni cut. Did you watch the movie?
I did. I watched it before I knew about the litigation happening.
Yeah.
I had kind of been into, because like I said, I'm a Baldoni fan. So when it started to come up, noticing like rumblings, like, I kind of was like, oh, what's that about? Because he's never in the news for any, like, you know what I mean? Like he's never in the news for anything. And he's been around Hollywood, in smaller roles for like decades. Like
because it's CW. It's
yeah. Hey, Gina Rodriguez won what, an Emmy or a Golden Globe? Come on, that was
the problem is like CW, like even though they have a cult following for stuff, like the ratings is really small.
Not now.
They don't have good ratings, or they used to?
I'll be honest, I don't watch them now. I watch.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of the CW. Like for example, Smallville was my jam. And then like people love it, but a lot of people didn't see it. They didn't watch it. It was a good show, but no one saw it.
Like I really started watching it once it was on Netflix, and now it's not on Netflix anymore. Jane the Virgin. So it's like
Isn't Jane the Virgin a remake of a Mexican show?
Venezuelan, Juanita the Virgin.
Yeah, I actually thought the movie was okay. The It Ends With Us.
It was all right. I will be honest, I watched it for Justin, and I did like it. I watched it twice. I liked it enough to watch it again. I just like his acting, and he's not a bad person to look at. He's pretty handsome, so
I thought the acting was superb, because then finding out that they don't like each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think during filming they did like each other. So here's the thing: Justin is very much, he will try to find common ground with anybody.
Yeah.
If you haven't, he did a podcast with Rainn Wilson on Rainn's channel, and Rainn Wilson's also Baha'i. It gives you kind of good insight. I think it's like a 45 minutes to an hour long. It's a interesting watch if you haven't seen it. But it kind of gives a little bit of insight. Justin's whole thing is all about creating art that makes an impact. He says that we've been basically like subsisting on junk food in our media, right? So his whole thing is he wants to provide meals, media that actually feeds a part of your soul. So that's why his whole thing, that's why he did 5 Feet Apart. That's why he did, I can't remember off the top of my head the name of I think it was the first project he directed about the terminally ill, people who had terminal illnesses, and he would follow them. So his whole thing, all of his directorial pieces are about trying to make a statement, trying to get you to think, trying to.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. I just feel like I do really feel that sometimes he gave me an impression that he tries to elevate himself, like as a person who's self-aware, by putting down men. And it's like, you don't have to do that, bro. Like,
so something that actually you said earlier. So he's actually, and he talks about this on Rainn's podcast too, he's never actually used the term toxic masculinity himself. He doesn't really necessarily like when he's doing like his TED Talks and stuff, he doesn't really necessarily believe in that. He says, according to what he said on the Rainn Wilson podcast, what he says, he's like, hey man, I just want to meet people, where they are, and kind of, get a conversation going. And he said, at least the way I took it is, he's kind of coming at it from what he experienced, saying, men are supposed to be this thing, but why?
Well, but okay, so that's his fault. His life is different than mine, and he can't clump everybody together. So if some guy taught him to be bad to women and not treat women equally, or told him that that's part of masculinity, he needs to take issue with that guy, not everybody.
So I think he's coming at it from a systemic.
I got this from an act. Google. It says Justin Baldoni opens up about toxic masculinity. I don't know if he was quoted with that. Actor filmmaker Justin Baldoni has spoken out against toxic masculinity, being a man. It's like, well, that's his experience, man. Like
right.
That's his experience. And as far as I'm concerned, as being a Hispanic dude that's here struggling to make a couple bucks, He's privileged. So don't come at me with like now you're gonna put this stigma that all dudes are like that. My mom is a female. I would never disrespect females. The first person I saw when I was born was female. Everyone's okay. So the first person most people love are female, are their moms. Most people, it's not all the time. But you don't have to put people lump everybody in another category, especially when you're in Hollywood, where you guys created and praised what's it called? The Me Too guy. What's his name? The Weinstein guy, okay? They harbored him for a very long time. They harbored Harvey Weinstein, right? That's not regular people, so you don't have to put us down. But anyways, that's just my rant. I got D Nice in the background, but are you gonna call back?
My battery's pretty low right now. I don't know.
For another show that I want you to call back.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay. And update us on your experiences in your fandom and stuff. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Oh, hey, thanks. Bye.
D Nice, are you on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you, D Nice?
I'm all right. How are you?
Very good. How are you? How are you feeling? What are your thoughts on this stuff that's going on with Baldoni and Blake Lively? It seems to be everywhere.
I think it's really stupid. I mean,
You think it's stupid?
I haven't read the book, but I have seen the movie.
Yeah.
And having been through something similar, I believe that it should not overshadow the message of the book. And I'm not exactly sure with the author how she handled everything, but I believe I think that Justin's version should be put out.
I think it should be released.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a video saying release the Baldoni cut. See if anybody gives a shit.
Definitely, like we need a petition. We need a petition.
I do feel that artists' versions and visions should be released and respected, even if it turns out that the one released is better. I do feel Baldoni needs to be. It's his movie. Release it. And if Blake had in the contract to release another version of it, then release hers too. And that one wasn't released. I mean, I think they should both be released.
Yeah, they should, and it should be left to us, the audience, to decide which one is better. So
you saw the movie though, right?
I did.
By the way, before we continue with your opinions on the movie, I am 50. Nerd Report is 50 subscribers away from 72,000 subscribers. Have you subscribed? Go up
I'm
there.
not subscribed. Just kidding.
Click. Damn you. Click the subscribe button on the very top. Click on it. Subscribe. We could do that right now. I don't know. Got one more subscriber. 49 away. Let's do it.
It's not that hard. It doesn't cost anything.
No. I should charge. Maybe more people were so.
No.
Let's see. Equal pay, equal jobs. I do not see women lining up for underwater welding, trash collectors, roofers, plumbing, electricians. They only want high-paying corporate jobs, which sometimes pay less. Well, I mean, I'm putting up someone's opinion I just read.
Okay.
So, but hey, man, you know what? I want corporate jobs too that pay more, but I don't know what that has to do with Blake Lively. But okay.
Yeah, because they're in the entertainment industry. I mean,
yeah, it's an entertainment industry. What do you think of the movie?
I thought the movie was great. I tried watching it without all the drama.
Good or great?
It's good. It's not up there, I think, but I think the message is great, and like again, with people who experience this on a daily, It's very important for people to be heard, and just everything just overshadowing it. I don't like that.
I do feel that the movie's tone was off. Like I don't know if it was like it was supposed to be a serious movie at the end, like a serious message, or if it was a rom-com, like, because it did
No,
feel like it
I
felt like the essay part or the domestic violence part was kind of like put back.
Yeah,
Was it
that's all because of Blake's cut.
right?
It's
And
because of
there
that.
was one. Do you remember the movie pretty well?
Sort of.
Okay. There
I
was
hope
one
so.
thing. Okay, so I was watching it with Lisa. Okay,
Hmm.
at Grayson Report, shout out. And she's like, "Why the hell are you watching this movie? It's a chick flick."
Of course you would.
and just and I'm like, if I'm gonna report on this, I want to watch the damn movie. So I'm watching it, and by the end of it, I saw the part where she put her hand in the oven
Hmm.
and accidentally hits him, and then the part with the stairs and everything. And the way the film was, they showed us those sequence of events
Hmm.
were done one way, and you're like, well, she accidentally hit him, or no, he accidentally hit her
Hmm.
because he got burned and she was behind him. And then when she fell down the stairs, she actually ran in front of him and was walking backwards, right? But when she remembered the scenes, they were totally different. And I remember watching it and going, is she the Joker? Is she like hallucinating some shit? Because the movie kind of cheated. It showed us a scene one way to make us believe something didn't happen, and then a completely different one when it was through her imagination. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I think
Because he totally
there.
pushed her down when she remembered it. But when you watch
Yeah.
the actual scene and sequence of the film, he was running from her and she went in front of him and started walking backwards stairs, and then she fell. And I was like, why would she? And then at the end, you're like, realize, well, he pushed her, but that's not what we saw. So I was like, is she like hallucinating this stuff? That's what I thought in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, is that some of the events that happened was her hallucinating or thinking of a different type of event that happened rather than what happened in reality or so. So I I believe that's what they were trying to do.
Oh, they're trying to say, yeah, they're trying to say that she was trying to the frame choice was trying to show that she was making excuses for what was
Yes.
happening. That is good. That is
Yep.
great. But okay, but that's something you need to add. It wasn't portrayed in the film well, in my
No,
opinion.
it wasn't.
No, it's something you need to and and look, man, at the end when she says, I'm just gonna leave you, and he agrees so easily, I'm like, that is so fake. An
That
abuser,
is
an abuser will be like, F you, you're staying with me.
No, yeah,
Right?
no, and they'll keep coming back,
They'll keep
and he needs
coming
a
back.
restraining order.
Yeah, that's when I was like, this is a fucking, like, you're watching this, like, you're telling me she dated a dude when she was in high school. She coincidentally meets up with him again. And then the dude that's abusive, she says, oh, after you have a kid, you're going to leave me. And that guy's going to agree to it? No, that guy has psychological problems. He's going to be stalking you for the rest of your life, dude. Run. Run.
Oh my god.
Right?
That's why we need the Baldoni cut. I
Yeah. You think that was hers?
think that was hers. Shit. Sorry.
And then the guy she ends up with, man, when he showed up on screen, I laughed because he looked so dorky.
Yeah.
The younger version of him was better looking. And then when she was like, oh, what the fuck is this?
I was thinking the same thing, but
He did look dorky, right? I fell off my
he did.
chair, man. I fell off my chair.
I'm like, where did I see this guy from? I thought it was the guy from from I can't remember the movie. Shoot. Never mind. But yeah, I feel like
Oh, okay. So says I'm right. Also, you're right. 90% of abusers will not let their victims leave. That's what I think. That's
Mhm.
part of the key Colleen got from the book. It's unrealistic. Yeah. So to that point, it is a little bit unrealistic. What other
Yeah.
thoughts? Be nice.
What other thoughts?
Yeah. Did you for a second think I was Team Blake Lively and Proud? Change my mind. Do you think that was a real title?
I think I know you. You know, we've been friends for how long? Shit, no. Oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
yeah, my last thought would be, whoever like how long do you have? How long are you gonna be on?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because I want people to call in, new people.
Oh
You
well,
know?
we got cultural call out. We'll start. I'll drop the link one more time for
Oh,
people
he's
to call.
old.
No, look, I'm gonna drop the link one more time for you all to call in, okay? And it and then and then I'm gonna call it a night if unless something crazy happens. Um
It's only 5. You need to
yeah,
go
but I've
till
been on
2.
for an hour and a half and like listen, folks, this is Nerd Report. We go on all the time. We don't have a fucking schedule. We're live all the time. Just assume we're live. All right. Something crazy happens. We're live.
Like a car chase.
Subscribe.
If
Hit that bell.
Justin Trudeau goes blackface again, we're gonna go live and covering it. All right, we're gonna laugh at him.
Yeah, when Jimmy Kimmel does it too, we'll be there
Yeah.
to laugh.
When those idiots and then they try to preach at us, we're gonna go live. If there's a car chase, we go live. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, what about you, Brandon? Any other thoughts?
I mean, I saw that you reported the other day. I just want to get your. Do you think she should be penalized by law if she didn't have rights for stealing hard drives and
Bro,
showing that whole freaking movie?
I don't know. That's a good question for uncivil law.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what though? When you put on a film, in the beginning of it says, what does it say? No authorized reprints of these film is allowed, right? The FBI warning in the beginning of a movie when you play it.
Yeah.
No authorized distribution.
Yeah.
You
That was
know,
distribution right there.
it seems like it, right? I don't know.
I mean, that's really disrespecting all the people that worked under you. That seems like it shows to the power trip that she has.
You know what
to
I do
Ryan
want to
Reynolds.
see, Brandon? I'm going to give you a project. Try to get that book club. She did that book convention. She showed the film at. Try to get raw footage of there. If
We've
we
been trying.
if we see security, anti-piracy security, that means the studio let them do that, in my opinion. Because they hire security. I know because I work with this stuff. The studio hires a third-party security to make sure there's no infrared cameras, there's no night vision cameras that will record this movie. Because if someone grabs that film and puts it up on the internet, it's over.
Yeah, so Sony had to be okay with it. And Sony, there's so much red tape to get through them. Like,
well, all of it. This is $300 million.
It was grossing 300 million, but 80 it was like 80 to make, right? And they made 300 on top of it.
Wait, okay. It ends with us.
That's still quite a bit hand over fist on money when it comes to budget.
Ends with us production. It says 25 million and it's earned. The 2024 film It Ends With Us has a production budget of $25 million. That's a low budget film. The movie has a box office of 351 million bucks.
Smashing success, man.
That's so to be a successful film, they usually say you got to go 3 times the amount. So they got 31. They made 4 times that. 4 times that. And they get a deal with Netflix. That's all gravy. And that's not even counting Netflix. It's not counting the Blu-ray, the downloads.
I'd be like, why are we fighting at the end of the day?
Yeah.
No, that's actually why you're fighting. The
I
money.
guess the money and the brights for the next movie. But
the next movie is called It Starts With Us.
Yeah. So yeah, they already had, there's like the sequel with the book and everything, part 2. So I don't know if they can rewrite it without Blake or Justin, but
they could switch the actors, but I mean, I thought they did a good job, but
Yeah. I thought
and
so
if
too.
they release a Baldoni cut,
sounds like a Snyder.
That's going to be massive. That's $100 million easy. The Baldoni cut, probably they have to like probably put in another $5 million to do the cut because the movie's already there. The cut may be done.
Isn't Baldoni suing her for $400 million?
Oh yeah, that's $250,000.
So do you think that's like far-fetched for him to sue for $400 million because it made 300 after 25?
No, but I think the way lawsuits work is like it's about reputation. Like, you know, my brand is worth 500 million, so I'm going to sue you for 500 million. You know, my brand, I lost $400 million in revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because of your defamation, I guess that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
He has to prove basically what he lost. I don't think if he wins, I don't think he's going to get the 400 million. Probably get less, but I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert.
Here's the thing. I appreciate that he did a clip that resurfaced a while ago of him going into the theater and just warning people because of how it's being promoted. Like, look, grab your florals, grab your girlfriends or whatever. I appreciate him doing that because if not, then like if I was in that theater, I would have been like, fuck this movie. Sorry.
Really?
But
Because
yeah.
it turned to be because the movie turned out to be serious?
Yeah.
You would have been upset?
I would have been really upset. Yeah.
Because if you went into a rom-com and then it turned into a DM.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people would have too, but you know, I'm just speaking for myself right now.
I get what you're saying, D-Nice, because she made it like a cutesy thing, like get your florals and grab your girl and whatever and come and celebrate. And it's a DV thing, and they're having like alcoholic beverages at a DV movie at a premiere.
But just because you drink alcohol doesn't mean you're DV.
No, I know that. Yes. Yeah.
That's like saying freaking morbidly.
Is it tone deaf?
Huh?
Is it tone deaf though? Do you think it's tone deaf?
An alcoholic is to be an alcoholic. Yeah. Is it tone? Man, okay. So if you have, let's talk about ethics aside. If you have a movie that is super important and needs to be out there, in your opinion, it needs to be out there. The message has to be out there. All right. It's super important. The message has to be out there. And you know, if you advertise the film as come to my movie and at the end you'll leave pissed off because people get harmed, or come to my movie, it's a good time. The one where if you make it like an essay film, less people are going to go. Less people are going to see the message. But if you make it like a Barbie film, it's going to make $351 million of people watching it. Now, yes, is it false advertisement? Yeah. But it also people leave the theater thinking like, fuck, you know, rom-coms are fake. You know what I mean? It's not really reality. And then the message is out there, and that's important too. You know, go ahead. I was
gonna say, it's funny, before all this came out, in the trades between like Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, there's a thing saying that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively wanted to make Barbenheimer Part 2 with Wolverine and It Ends With Us. So they wanted to be like Oppenheimer and Barbie the summer before, and they try to recreate that.
Yeah,
with
where
this
they
number.
the films are totally opposite.
And it's
If
just
the movie,
crazy.
yeah, the movie has a very important message. But okay, let me ask you all. D-Nice, did you watch Dusk Till Dawn?
No.
Did you,
Mhm.
Brandon?
Yeah.
The movie is advertised as a fucking like what are they? Two criminals stealing from liquor stores in Texas and shit.
And they
right?
end up at an adult club. Yep. And it
They
turns
end
out
up in an adult club, and you're watching half the fucking movie, and these two guys are being pursued by the cops. They're fucking robbing people, and in the fucking they go to a bar. They go to a bar to enjoy themselves in the middle of the fucking movie, and everyone turns into a vampire at night, and it's fucking great.
crazy film.
It wasn't it great? It's
Yeah,
Robert
it's
Rodriguez, and it's
Yeah.
fucking great. Like you're like, I remember watching that movie, and I'm like, with a lot of people in the house, we rented it or we bought it, and everybody was like, "What the fuck just happened?" But it was rad.
Yeah.
It was rad. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
see, I
totally
appreciate something like that.
Yeah, it totally flipped
Mm-hmm.
because it gave you the criminal element. You were good, the criminal element, but it went serious at the end, or whatever. Now, if you want to call that serious.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Yeah, Cheech Marin and everything too.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez has done some good stuff. I think Robert Rodriguez is actually the better half of Quentin Tarantino. I'm not a fan of Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I like when he did the Sin City scene though for Robert.
Oh, he did it. He did Robert Rodriguez did Sin City, right?
Yeah, and then Quentin did a surprise scene, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but that was still kind of cool. Like they still got each other's back, but that's film stuff.
I love Kill Bill. That's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite films.
Yeah, I don't think Blake Lively will ever work on a Quentin Tarantino film.
Well, like I was saying earlier, she's got to have something up her sleeves. I can't. I just can't.
Is she banking on Ryan? Like, she's got to be banking on him then, because
no, she's got to have some. She's got to. Why would you sue someone like that?
Because her husband has money in his wallet.
Yeah, but when you sue someone, you got to have something behind you. You can't just, I want to sue this person because she should have just gone after fucking, I don't know, Elon Musk then. Why go after this guy? She's got to have some. It's just unbelievable that you would go after someone with nothing.
Maybe he's
and that your lawyer's going to back you up. Huh?
Maybe they're predators and he's the most vulnerable.
Rich, man. The guy's
speculation.
Rich.
The
guy's rich.
Who, Justin?
Yeah, he's still
not compared to them two.
It doesn't matter. If you're blatantly wrong, everyone's looking at that. Everyone's looking at that.
Well, that explains why he's putting his 10 toes into the ground and standing his ground though right now too, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Anyways,
anyone can sue.
Last word before we go from D-Nice. What's on your mind?
All right, so everyone, you see what we have here. We're talking about movies and stuff. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to Nuke the Fridge. That's where
there you go.
Lewis.
You're my cheerleader. There you go.
Yeah. You're my friend, man. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go mix tonight. So if you guys want to go to the Twitch channel.
Yeah, go to Twitch and he plays some really, really good music. So he accepts requests too.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
exactly. Matthew says he's not poor. Justin Baldoni is not poor if he had a production company. Yeah, production company.
You have some investors.
Yeah, those investors are going to invest in someone trying to rip their movie off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's your last word, Brandon? Before we go,
this is going to happen in 2026 unless they keep on talking, and I don't see them stop talking yet because they released so many articles back to back within 30 minutes of each other today, and I heard it's going to be a slow leak from Justin's camp, and that's what I saw on Twix or X, And I think it's good to stay in the loop with Nerd Report and all the family around this universe, because we don't like to create echo chambers, and it's cool to hear Lewis voice his opinion.
Okay, I'll give you your $20 super chat later. I mean, your Cash App later for that. By the way, Bernadette just shared the Twitch channel for the music. By the way, I have a video. I have a couple of videos that I dropped earlier that no one watched because they didn't get notified, or the algorithm. I don't know what the fuck it is. But go and check that out. Also, I have another video dropping tonight with some analysis about allegedly Ryan Reynolds staged. Some people are saying he staged an autograph session. I find out if I agree or disagree. All right, just watch that video. I think it's pretty good, and stuff. And we're almost at 72,000 subscribers. Do me a solid and subscribe right now. Double check that you are subscribed. All right. With that being said, nerd out.